So today we're going to talk about how to integrate, how to swirl all of those elements. And I want to make sure that you're seeing this in your classrooms.
And I will say that the speaking is going to be the school-wide focus for next year.
This is going to be very hands-on, minds-on, interactive. I want you to make and take things. I want you to be able to go back to your teachers and share these strategies with them right away. Any speaking, any writing, any reading, those are the 4 elements that we want to make sure we have. And I know that typically people say, too many cooks in the kitchen, but today I want all of your expertise. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the catalyst of why I wrote this book. So the teachers were saying to me, we don't understand, why aren't our kids reclassifying? And this is what I was seeing. Pretty much in every classroom I went into. We need to see kids talking, interacting around academic vocabulary, and we need to know that it is much more difficult to assess the things that are passive skills. We don't know what's going on in the kid's head when they're reading something silently in their head, or when they're listening. Are they actually understanding it? And these active pieces of production, we do know. So 1 in 4 students is an English learner in this country. What percentage of that do you think are Spanish speakers? Take a guess.
80.
Actually, 75. I would like to encourage you to be metacognitive today. In the book that you all have, I'm so grateful to the district for getting you all books, this is how I've categorized it in the book. It's a capital letter when it's primarily used. It's lowercase when it's maybe you're doing a little bit, but not a ton. The reason we do hand up, stand up is because it allows for varied pacing. So you know your kids who get done at different times, you're gonna do this activity in a moment. I'm gonna model it for you. And then once you're done, when you're done writing, you're gonna raise your hand and you're gonna find somebody else who's also done at that same time. I'd like us to dedicate our learning today. So I'd like you to think about a student that you either reached or you were unable to reach. I love how engaged you all are in these conversations. We have about 30 seconds. If you could wrap up what you're saying, that would be great. First of all, amazing conversations. I was very touched by hearing the dedications that you're making to students. I know that we're all here because we care about kids so deeply and want to see the best for them. So I just want to really extend my appreciation to all of you for that.
I like what she was saying about newcomers in high school, because I'm elementary school. And so hearing about the newcomers in high school and the variety that you have, but always providing as many opportunities as you can.
Yeah.
Hoping that they'll all take advantage of it.
And I saw the rapport that you have with them when I came in. It was really impressive. Just amazing. They know they're welcome. That's step number 1.
I gave them the keys to my car.
Literally gave them the keys to her car to go put something in her car. Yes. That's fabulous. I come to this conversation of multilingual learners as a National Board Certified teacher, and I only mention that because the main pillar of National Board Certification is knowledge of students. What is their fluency in these 5 core competencies in their home language? Do we know that? Is there someone who can assess that, right? We are on Speak right now. We're going to start with Speak. These are all of the swirl elements. 89% of time nationally is teacher talk. We really want to flip the script on this. We want it to be about 70% student talk, 30% teacher talk, but of course we want that productive talk. And I'd like just a FIST to 5. So FIST meaning I have no idea what you're talking about, and 5 you could write your master's thesis on this about translanguaging. It's a shift in our thinking. So when we think about cognates, we want to say this is a superpower you have, that you have this other language that you can springboard off of. We're trying to be additive and not take away the home language. We know that it's a huge, not only just in your brain when you're learning, but in college and career, it's a huge plus to have many languages. And we're going to talk about cross-linguistic connections a little later, and that will maybe crystallize it some more. But Alma Farada and Isabel Campoy, who wrote the foreword to my book, they were actually initially the researchers around this, and then more people brought it to light. I'll give you an example. You often will partner same home language when it's turning and talking. What other kinds of purposeful partnerships do you see?
An emerging and a developing student, maybe sometimes triads where I have 1 of 3.
Great. What else?
Also a role for speaking and like a routine of how that will happen, so it's not just someone dominating.
Great. Who or what are the kids accountable to or for? What's that accountable? Accountable. What is accountable to whom? To what?
Usually it's to the teacher. Usually it's speaking out loud or representing what their partner said or something like that.
Okay.
We want them accountable to themselves.
Okay.
And holding up certain standards.
Good.
And to some goal that they're going towards with
Okay.
if possible.
All right.
Their partner.
Their partner. And as they're in middle school and high school, more of discourse, like Socratic seminar. So making sure that deep thinking, critical thinking is evolving. The brave person is going to be our person in the yellow hot seat over there, and we're going to time them, and we're going to give them 1 minute to talk straight.
And I make sure I wear them every time they're clean. This is very vulnerable.
You are crushing this, yes.
I was like, I don't want a dog that looks like it does push-ups. Like, she likes to crowd surf, or not crowd surf. That'd be really funny. She can't.
We want to have a purpose for these, right? They're not just like random. What are we doing? What's the academic purpose behind that? Are they making predictions? Are they interpreting something? Are they summarizing? Are they tapping into prior knowledge? I want to just ground us in the WIDA key language uses. I'm sure thumbs up, you've seen this before. I specifically want to talk about the overlap. Our next activity is going to be paint chip vocabulary strips. I want to point out also that you can do this with verbs. So it's not just adjectives, so that kids can expand their vocabulary around verbs, which sometimes can be, they're going to write said. This is a way to kind of grow those out. What did you all have?
We had scared, and we came up with 7 different choices, and we chose 3 out of those, and it goes scared, frightened, terrified, petrified.
Ooh, petrified.
But that target language is very explicit for our multilingual learners to know what it is that I'm supposed to be using when I'm speaking to a partner. I could have said at the end of that when writing. They could be writing this out. Word order is a big one, right? The red car, carro rojo, these kinds of things need to be pointed out explicitly to children so they know this is the way we do it. It's different. Pocket charts of false cognates, true cognates, perfect cognates. Do we know the difference between those? Perfect being chocolate, chocolate, jaguar, jaguar, animal, animal. They're spelled the exact same. So our next activity is called dice discussions.
Okay, what is your favorite smell and why?
Like I love lilacs because they remind me of my grandmother's backyard, for example.
What qualities do you look for in a friend? I'd say the secret sauce is laughter.
For newcomers, you could do pictures like this and have them talk or describe, say words that they know about each image. I would like you to choose 2 of these. You have a space on page 20 of your packet to illustrate and or look up the origin with your phone. Y para los que tienen español en sus escuelas he puesto los que tienen algo parecido, pero no es igual. Es algo parecido.
I gotta drop it in the
insignificant. Like
I'd like to in mine it has 2 different meanings, so just that some stuff's not always clear.
Sure,
So it's
sure.
like so that what
I think Lauren also had several meanings, yeah. Because you were speaking, you were writing, you were reading, yeah. But this, I'm putting on interacting because you're very much interacting with your group. I think kids have to know that snore and roar rhyme. They have to know the meaning, background knowledge that a lion roars. That's background knowledge. So when we make connections as adult readers, we know how to do that, right? Oh, this reminds me of this other book I read, or this reminds me of my life. What are the text-to-text connections you can see between those 3 books? I have a boy, okay. Orphan. An adventure. Animals for 600. Frida had these animals which she featured in her paintings. What were monkeys? Very good.
That was one of those ones that stayed with me, kind of like anchor dot.
Totally. That's what I said. Like few things changed my teaching like that did. As the kids are listening to each other, as you've seen, I've been modeling today, I am eavesdropping. I want your teachers to be professional eavesdroppers.